Hi, Jorg, Mardian here, 360 Fitness. This video is for generalized pain, back pain, lower back, mid back, the glutes, or hip mobility. So if you're having any problems with generalized aches or pains, what I generally do with my clients is I just have them go through a series of daily exercises such as these. And if they're done on a continuous basis, they provide a lot of relief. So with that, we'll get right started. I'll start with something that we see often, and it's when we have offset hips, when there's a misalignment. And usually when there's a hip high on one side, you can tell because the shoulder will be a little lower. You can look in the mirror or have somebody examine you from the back. So if my shoulder on the right side is dropped, it can be a ½ inch, an inch, then generally that hip on that side is high as well. So it'll look something like this. I'm just exaggerating. And what happens there is that the area above the back here gets really tight, and it can cause a lot of dull throbbing pain. So this exercise is very good for that. So normally we'd sit in a chair, and then you just sit in a chair, and what we're going to do is we're going to lean over to the side a little bit to begin. Then we're going to raise the arm of the high hip, and we're going to raise it above. We're still leaning, and then I'm going to go forward over my arm, and you'll notice that my arm is resting on my knee for support. And I'm just going to reach forward. It's not a comfortable stretch. And I'm going to hold that for about 20 seconds. When you're done, you come back and just release. And that's going to travel down the arm, down the lats, and into that lower back, and just get that tissue to pull and elongate and to provide relief. It does take some time. It's not instantaneous. Sometimes it can take a month or two, but it is a very good stretch. Another problem that happens when you have offset hips, so if my right side hip is high, then usually on this side, the piriformis muscle will hurt a lot through the glute. So what I do here is I cross my leg, grab my knee with both hands, and I just pull that into my chest, and I lean forward. And you can hold that for 20 seconds as well. And that goes down into the glute, and you feel a nice stretch as a piriformis muscle that runs through that glute is pulled. And those instructions are opposite. If the left side hip is high, then you would just reverse those instructions. Another one that we can do is a sitting and rotating. So you cross your arms on your chest, and we rotate the entire torso by looking as we're rotating. So my eyes will travel with the rotation. And then I turn the other way. And then I'm trying to stretch again the lower back and the obliques, the sides, and you only go to pain tolerance here. Another one that you can do is a rotation and a turn. So you rotate, and then you turn into it, and you just hold that to comfort. Now this is not a comfortable stretch, but it's very effective because the stretch comes right from the lower back up the lats. And then once you release that after 15-20 seconds, you can do the other side. And then we have a sit in a mid-back arch, so I'm just going to show it from the side. So here, all I'm going to do is arch my back in, and then release it. Contract, arch your lower back in, my shoulders go back somewhat, and release. Okay, just do that 10-15 times. You feel a good contraction in the lower back. You want those muscles to strengthen. All right, so with that, we'll go into the stretches that are on the ground. And one of the stretches that I like to do to loosen up the lower back is just to have some knee sway. So I put my knees fairly wide apart. And then we'll just get them to drop to the side. And then drop to the other side, kind of like a wiper. And you'll notice immediately which side is tight here in the back. With me, it's always the right side, so I have to do constant work on that. And I'm just trying to get my knees down to the ground. Relax your head on the ground if you can. And this is just an exercise where we rotate 10 to 15 times each side. Another one that we can do is an inward-outward leg rotation. So we'll have our feet apart like this. Move to lie down. And then I'm just going to rotate my toes in and out, kind of like a wiper again. And you feel that go up the side of the hips and into the lower back, as well as it goes into the groin. So it's a very effective exercise. It might not feel like much, but what you're doing is you're trying to work all the supporting structure of the back, and that's not just in the lower back, that's also through the hips. Okay, now we get on to the good stuff. So this one here, I'm going to get on my hands and knees. I'm going to start with one that's a little far, so I'm going to put my knees back a little bit, right? And then I'm going to drop my hip down, and you can hold that. And most of my weight is on this arm, and I can feel all the weight, all the pressure down my side. You hold that for 10-15 seconds, and then you allow the other side to do it. Now this is the easy version. The harder version is to bring your knees up a little bit so that I'm more straight down. And I'm going to pull, and you can hear in my voice that it's harder already. There's a lot of pressure here. You're trying to hold up your weight with one arm. So hold each one 10 to 15 seconds, and that should serve you well. Okay, so with that, we're going to do what's called upper body side bending. And I think I'm going to show this way, just so you can see it. So I'm going to lay down. You can cross your hands if you like here. Now I have a mat that I can slide on this. So what I'm going to do is plant my feet, and I'm going to move my upper body to the side, and I'm going to rotate to the other side. You can see why I would need a surface that you can move on fairly easy, something that doesn't bunch up underneath you. And this one was taught to me by one of the best in the world, and there's no harm that's going to come from you, no matter how much your back hurts. It's a very, very effective exercise. Now, another one that we can do, so we did the one where we crossed the knee over. You can also do that lying down. So if you're in a lying down position, grab your knee, and then just pull it across your body and up this way, towards your chest, and just give it a good pull. And you feel that your piriformis muscle in that side just pulls quite hard. And it's such a good stretch, and you want to hold that, and just hold for comfort. There's no use yanking on it, until you're in pain. But in time, that's going to loosen up, because you'll notice that your knee comes right down into your chest. It does take time for tissue to loosen up, so a day or two of stretching isn't just going to do it. All right, with that, we're going to stand up. So this is quite an effective stretch for the lower back. I'll do it sideways. I'm going to put the hips back, arch my lower back, put the arms forward. So all I want to do from here is I want to point down, make sure those hips keep going back. Come up again. Make sure that back's tight. Now, if your back hurts, obviously you might not be able to go down that far, so you might be able to go like this. If you straighten your legs out and you try to do this, your back's going to hurt. If your back is like this, it's going to hurt. It has to be in, and then the hips hinge backwards. That protects your back. Then you can go down and stretch to wherever you can. Even if you keep your arms up, you're going to feel the stretch. Okay? It's very important that technique-wise it's done properly, or you're going to make your injury worse, especially if there's a lot of sharp pain. So you want to be careful there. There's also what's called a cow and cat pose, and this is very universal. Most trainers like this because you allow your back to go in, and then you push it up, and then you allow it to go in, and when you push out, you can even put your head down, back in, and out, and you're just allowing not only the main back muscles, but the secondary muscles, the deep back muscles to contract and get stronger. And that's why we like that stretch. A hamstring stretch is also good because usually what we say when a joint hurts, it's not the primary joint, it's the joint below or above that's causing the problems. Usually with the lower back, it could be knees, it could be ankles, it could be hamstrings. So to take care of the hamstrings, bring your leg up, grab it high, and just pull it back. What you want to make sure is that the leg is straight. If you have it like this, obviously the tension is off quite a bit. So push it up, and then just go above the knee joint, and gently pull back to your comfort level. And you're going to get a huge stretch here immediately. You can also do this stretch on an angle, so you can put it out like this and stretch it in. And you can go the other way and stretch it. So why do we do that? Because the hamstring has 3 heads. And there's an outer, an inner, inner, middle, outer. And you want to stretch all 3. And if you keep your legs straight, you only stretch in the middle one, right? So you'll notice that right away when you stretch it. Okay, we're going to do a McKenzie stretch up as well. The McKenzie stretch up is very good because most people can do it. So there's 2 ways to do this. One is easier. I'm on my elbows here. I'm going to go down, and if your back is really tight, then just come up on your elbows. You'll feel the contraction in the back. It's very mild. And down. So what I want to do is go nice and slow. You'll feel the contraction go right into your lower back. And down. Sometimes I push up on the side a little bit. And on the other side. If you want to make it harder, or your back is getting stronger, then you put your hands here near your chest, and then you posture up this way, which is obviously higher, and there's a lot more bend to your back. Again, gentle, down, deep breath, push up. So you don't have to raise your hips off the floor. It doesn't have to go like this. You know, we're not doing a push-up or anything. So your hips stay down. Just make sure you're going just about near locking your arms out. And then down. Okay. Another one, a good one to do, is a trunk twist. Take your hand, and we're going to push the hand this way and look the other way. So my other arm is going behind me this way. Okay, I'm going to push my hand this way, and I'm going to look the other way. This is a fantastic stretch. It doesn't look like much. It works. Then you do the other side, hand goes behind you, push this way, so my shoulders are going this way, my head the other. I have a counter motion. And I find all of these stretches and exercises, they work more than the primary muscles. So we want to get deep into the trunk and get those balancing muscles. Okay. What I want to do as well is I want to give a few exercises. Just a few. If you have a ball or something or a small weight, once a lot of the pain dissipates and you're able to move, just hold the ball, squeeze gently, have it away from your body about a foot, abs are tight, feet are apart, and then I'm going to slowly rotate while I'm squeezing this ball. Keep the upper torso straight. Obviously we're not looking for this right now. Okay, I'm talking about movements that are therapeutic and are slow. So just pushing a little bit, not too much. Watch that your head is looking at the ball so that you're moving your entire upper torso. Okay, and keep squeezing that stomach. Then we're going to do some chops. So again, here, we just want to go down like this with a hip hinge to protect the back, down and up. Notice I rotate my back heel so that I can turn a little bit more. If I have this foot planted, then my rotation is limited. Once I lift that, I can rotate quite a bit more. Now, comfort level, so if you have pain, just keep it small. But again, I'm keeping my stomach tight. And I'm just trying to strengthen throughout the entire girdle here. And then we want to do an up and down as well. So normally with a kettlebell, you do this, but I'm just going to do a small chop with the ball. Hips go back, come up, and then you want to squeeze the glutes as you're coming up, because the glutes are probably weak, and that's another key in the chain that's defective. So hips back, come up, squeeze. So it looks like this. You can keep it nice and slow if you like as well. The last one that I'm going to do, you can do it with the ball or without. Hands up. And we're just going to do a slight bend. I let my hips travel this way a little bit. Don't overdo it. Like this is the maximum I can do, but I don't have any pain. If you have pain, you might only want to do a small one. Hip travels the other way, stomach is tight, everything stays tight, and you're moving under contraction, which is the way the body is designed to move. All right, that's just a short series of exercises, stretches, mobility that will serve you well if you do them daily. Just remember, anything that's not done consistently is not going to help you. It's not going to, usually within a week, the sharp pains, so when you're walking and you're going, oh, right, that should take about a week to dissipate. The long-term pain, the dull throbbing pain, that can take, when I had a sore back 10 years ago, it took me 4 months. But again, I was patient, and now I can do what I want because I was just patient throughout the whole process, and I knew it would work. So I do hope it serves you well.